This innocent looking little stream backs up when the river is flooding below and floods old Malton, so for weeks on end in the winter they've been pumping out of here because the river is just over the bank. At the moment it's all going away naturally. This is the outfall of that same little beck. You can see the water's not very good, it's sort of grey, but the main river is a bit muddy looking. There's like a valve, a simple flap system on there, so that the water can't immediately push back up, and it's just slightly ajar. It just does that on its own, depending on the pressure. And the river, that's the Derwent, which is, it's not a particularly big river, but for weeks on end in the winter it fills this upper level up to the embankment. It's very unusual it actually ever overtops. I don't think it ever actually overtopping it, but so the problem is when it's high for a long time everything else backs up. Just get an overview of it. It's not the most exciting spot, but this is often in the news for weeks on end, that the Derwent going through Malton, because it flows that way, and all the water has to go through the centre of the town, which is well, it's not silly, but that's just how it is, isn't it? The town grew up around the river and they pay the price for it. Anyway, this is old Malton. Can we see a river in here? Not very well, I bet. It's actually running relatively high at the moment, which is a bit of a surprise. I'm just trying to think, that must be from rain, thundery shower type rain we really missed yesterday, the day before. It takes us about a week to get really high down here. Further on there's more of a definite rapids there. I think it would almost certainly help if it wasn't quite so choked with big willow trees and things. There's some quite interesting wildflowers along here. Is that comfrey? Just there, I think it is. But basically it's a bit sort of over fertilised by the water coming down from above. And then you drive past this dozens of times on the way in through to Malton or wherever. This old church on the right. I'm just going to I don't know, actually go right inside, but we'll have a look at it. Oh, it's rather annoying, it's got a fence along here. I'll have to walk all the way back, I think. But you can see it better from here, a bit further away. Looks like the window in this end is covered up. Oh, there is a gate in there. Must be a gate through here. There's a path. That's a nice view. But something I quite like is all the old limestone walls covered in plants. We'll do some close-ups of that. These stone coffins, they used to leave the body in the stone coffin. It's a very narrow one, the one on the left. You'd have to be skinny to fit in there, wouldn't you? Maybe just sort of squashed you in. And when the fleshy bits had decayed, the remains might be buried in a more in the church, for example. So that was what they were primarily were for. And that the window there, it's covered in concrete actually, like this archway. And we are right by a very busy road. I wonder what the big crane's for. But this church is so old, it's had a lot of modification. It was much bigger at one point. I think it extended this way. I'm not entirely sure from what I see in the front. That's a bit weird. It's all on a wonk. Could be a boiler room or something under there. This little alcove type thing is where they used to, it says on, doesn't it? Coffin rest, so they put the coffin there before it was buried. But all the gravestones have been laid flat or removed. See, this side it's sort of asymmetric. There's a tower on the right, but it had a tower on the left originally. So in other words, it was a very large church, but they've kind of reduced it. You can even see the base of it there, can't you? Sort of. The very bottom piece been removed. But the doorway, that sort of Norman type patterning, the zigzaggy motifs. Quite a few of those columns have been replaced, but where it's let's look right round and see if a few stones have been replaced, like them knobbly bits there. Are they little heads originally? It might have been. I don't think anyone else is here. Whether you're allowed in, I don't know. I'll have a look in a minute. I'll go back, but just to see this side, because on here, see how all the again the church extended at where this path is. And this was like, is it called an aisle? With windows above, and this bit would have been roofed over. So that's all been sort of shrunk back. So the actual church is much more manageable. It's still a large church, but it's... there are gravestones laid flat there. Big yew tree, but it's not a really old one. Now, I'd be very surprised if this is open somehow, but you never know. Give it a go. It feels the world inside. It's so cool in here as well.